Welcome back to another video with the podcast guys, Nando and Rob here. Before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with someone you think may need to see this video. And it's all free, guys. So help us out, subscribe, support, and we're going to get into another reaction video. We are on a roll here with the reaction videos, so let's get to it.
Let's play the clip.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
What's the most challenging thing about dating at 29 in Miami?
When you have nothing to offer,
You or the man?
the man.
Okay.
I feel like men these days, you have to pretty much ask them what's their favorite lip gloss because they just want princess treatment.
What gives you that idea?
They just want you to chase after them. They want you to be the one to initiate conversations. There's no real men anymore.
Should a man not be chased and admired?
No, they should be chasing.
Okay. What gave you that mentality?
I think maybe my upbringing.
What about it though?
A man should be a man. I don't know. Yeah.
Is there a difference between pursuing and chasing though?
It's the same thing. Yeah, they're the same thing.
So how do you show a man that you value him if he's always chasing you?
If I actually want him, then I will make the time for him and give him attention. But if he's not giving me that initial attention, then I'm good.
So I'm not going to lie. I've watched this video before a couple times and have the same reaction. I'm like, what the hell is this woman thinking? What are your thoughts?
So here we have another interview in Miami. So again, it's expected. Gold diggers, high expectations. So what she basically said in the video is that she said that men aren't men anymore, that she made some comment that she wants to ask men what color lip gloss they wear, and that that men want to be chased, and so on and so forth. I think she's being really sarcastic because I don't know where men said that they wanted to be chased. I have yet to hear that. I think what she's trying to say is that men no longer want to chase with no reciprocation. When I think of she mentioned pursuing versus chasing, and she said it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. Pursuing is like courting a woman, taking her on a date, showing interest. You're showing her that you're interested in her. Chasing, when I think of chasing, it's like you're running after something that's running away from you. That's the difference between chasing. Think of a police chase. It's police chasing a suspect that's running away. It's not the same thing. So
I'm going to dive into more specifically what she said. You touched on a couple of things. She does say that men have nothing to offer, that they want princess treatment, and based on them wearing lip gloss, she said they want the princess treatment, and men they want to be chased, and a man should be a man. I don't know, she said. Her mentality is based on her upbringing, and she wants the initial attention, and if she gets the initial attention, then she'll give the attention back and make time for the guy. So to dive into her and the specific type of woman that she is, that many girls are similar, so that woman, similar to many other women, let's dive into that type of woman. She just offers looks, and that's it. And her looks aren't even that great. I mean, fake, eyelashes, likely, fake boobs, probably a BBL, makeup, lip injections. I see fake all around. Without that, if you take that all away off the table, I don't think she offers what a guy would want. And if you rate her on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, I would say she's at best a 3.5, 4 tops.
this is another video that was filmed in most likely Brickell, Miami, right? If you've ever been there, it's a very superficial place. Over there, everybody's trying to be high end. Everyone's trying to show off. People pretend they have money when they really don't, but so on and so forth. So, number one, guys that are from there already know what the deal is with women there. So saying that men aren't really being men. I don't think that's what it really is. I think that men that are like that live there or recently, you know, moved there, you stay there for a little bit and you start to see very, very quickly what this is all about. It's a bunch of just, you know, bimbos running around at night and looking for the guy with the most money and the nicest car.
How dare
and,
you!
The guys that have bottle service at clubs. That's really in a nutshell what Miami is. So it's not really, if she was really looking for a quote unquote real man and a provider and all that stuff, she's probably not in the right place to be doing it anyway. If she's in Miami, that tells me she's probably more like a party animal and wants to go to different clubs and live the nightlife. So she didn't, you know, mention that part, of course.
And there's a multiple amount of these type of women. There's so many of them. They're all over the place. Think the same way, and it's scary because you're not going to attract the guy you want with that thinking, with just what she offers there, which is her looks, which again isn't even that great, and just overall, just not good. Just not good. I mean, you know, the typical guy is going to be like, oh, you know, she's attractive and he may give it an opportunity just because of the looks to him, even though it's fake, he'll go for it. But the overall package is not wifey material.
I wish he asked her a few more specific questions. How many boyfriends she had, how many guys she slept with, when was her last relationship, things like that. Because when you make a bold statement like men aren't men anymore, let's hear, like, you know, what how women are nowadays. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's so true, female, feminine, you know, woman about you? You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of these women, they complain that men aren't men anymore, but are they really pursuable? Or like, is a man really going to be traditional with you when they're just running around going to clubs and, you know, hopping from guy to guy, monkey branching? No, you know what I mean? So they would be completely illogical to do. So when women say men aren't being men anymore, they're describing a traditional man that's going to court a woman in a traditional fashion. And especially Miami, that's not the place you're going to do that anyway.
The only thing that she said that wasn't a fallacy is that she doesn't know. She said men are just men, and that she doesn't know. She's right. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's talking out of her ass. And again, it's unfortunate because there's so many of those type of women that have that mentality, that put on that fake persona, that show fake just how they are, you know, the fake boobs, the BBL, the lip injections, the makeup, everything just fake. And as they get older and older, that's just not going to get them anywhere. She's 29 years old. She's already going into her 30s, and that means she's going to go downhill from there.
Exactly. And, you know, women like that, let's be real, they're not looking for something serious. I don't believe these women are in Miami looking for husbands and long-term serious relationships. They're just hopping from guy to guy. They're just, to them, it's all just like chasing high-value men, nightlife, party, you know, quick fixes, so on and so forth. I don't believe that she's looking for something serious, long-term commitment, what she described. And what she did in this video is very common. Women tend to complain about men. They'll point out all the things they don't like, but there's zero accountability on their end. I guarantee you, if he asked her a little bit about herself, she would have dodged all the questions, or you know, kind of like reworded it in a certain way to make herself seem like she's a perfect catch. You know what I mean? A man would be very lucky to have her. You know, so that's how it tends to go. They'll complain about men, but they're perfect.
I mean, she's totally wrong about that. Men should be chasing. Men are chasing.
If anything, they're chasing too much.
They're chasing, and some of them are giving. Some of them are chasing too much. Some of them are giving up on chasing, because
you do it a certain amount of times. You do it a certain amount of times, and you realize, like, well, this doesn't work. This is pointless because these broads they're out of control nowadays.
Guys rather be single.
100%.
They don't want to deal with the headache. They don't want to deal with the pain.
What did she say that men want to be chased? You know, if put it this way, if you're in Miami and you are a guy that makes, you know, $200-300K or more, I think you're in a position where at that point you let the women come to you, right? Think about it. If you're in Miami, we've been in Miami countless times. If you have, let's just say you're, I don't know, a doctor or something, right? And you get bottles at a club, you're not going to be chasing after women. You're going to stand there, you're going to order a bunch of bottles and have them come to you.
They're going to come up to you because they're going to see the value in you. That's what, as a guy out there, you have to make women see the value in you.
You want the guy to have money and chase you? You know what I mean? Like, it
doesn't work that way.
No.
The guy is going to have many options because it's scarce for a guy to have all the money that he has, be good looking, be have a great personality, leadership, have all the nuts and bolts, and
I think higher value guys
doesn't make sense.
Higher value guys, especially in a place like Miami, I think they understand that by chasing, they are automatically demonstrating that they are a lower value. Think about that for a second. Like, the harder you chase a woman, you are just proving to her that you are less than her.
If you're high value, you don't chase. You got to have game. You got to be able to know how to talk to these women. You have to be able to, take charge and do all of that. But it's going to come to you more often than not. For the typical guy that's going into a club and just standing in the corner with his beer in the
correct.
You got really no chance.
Correct. And you bring up a good point, because it takes like two different types of game in that point. If you're just kind of like an average guy walking into a club in Miami, you're already playing on ultra hard mode right out the gate, because like there's guys with money like all around you, so you're already playing on hard mode. But that guy's gonna have to play a completely different game than the guy that's ordering 5 bottles at 11. You know what I mean? And then he just dropped $5K. He could just stand there, and women are gonna be, the promoters will literally bring women into your section, and you could just pick. You know what I mean? If you're an average guy, number one, you have to avoid the high end clubs, because if you're in a high end club where there's guys buying $500, $800 bottles, you're not gonna be able to compete with that anyway. That's when you have to go, okay, you know what? Let me go to a bar in that area where it's a college town. Wynwood's prime example. You go to Wynwood, you have a chance of picking up women there. If you're gonna go to 11 when Travis Scott is there, you could forget it.
Absolutely. And not gonna lie here, we've all been at that point in our lives where we were the ones standing in the corner with that. We didn't have the balls to go up to a woman and be like, hey, some sort of pickup line, or hey, my name is
And that's pursuing. Yes. Mm-hmm.
But guys have been doing that, and they've been trying, and they've been failing just because they aren't even given the time of day. They try, and women just, oh, you're a creep. They get away from them.
And that's the part that women fail to understand. So when they say men aren't being men anymore, there's a very good chance that man you're describing tried up to a certain point, tried a certain amount of times, and said, you know what, screw this.
Ladies, you have to give the guy a chance, because if you don't, you'll never know more than what you see. You have to be able to have a conversation and give a guy a chance if you don't want to be the one doing the quote-unquote chasing. You have to let the guy at least talk to him and let him talk to you and see what happens. If it doesn't work out, that's a different story. But there's women that they're like, ugh, you're disgusting. And what happens to a guy? A guy goes into depression, even though I don't believe in depression. It's more frustration that it really, we should call it. But at the end of the day, women have to be accountable. They have to understand that it's not going to work with them having these fake persona and just going around acting with, just having that terrible personality, just acting that way with that attitude. It's bad.
This has been brought up many times on other podcasts previously. Women that aim too high and then they wait too long as they go into their 30s, what ends up happening is they end up just kind of by default removing themselves from the dating market, because now you're older. You had a nice 5 or 10 year run partying and, hooking up with, I know women like this personally, like when they were in their 20s, they were going to Manhattan and hooking up with like all these rich guys. And now they're 35, and like some of them moved back with their parents, or they're just broke and they don't know what to do anymore, because you just removed yourself from any potential partners. You could do that in your 20s, but in her case, she's 29, so she's right on the fringe. But if you're into your 30s, you're not going to be running around picking up rich guys in Miami. It's time to re-strategize at that point.
as we say this, as we get closer to the conclusion here, women, get your cats and dogs ready, because if you keep this charade going, that's, who you're going to end up being with, a cat or a dog. It's unfortunate, but it's got to face facts.
A lot of them are going to end up alone. It's just reality.
Exactly. So we'll leave it at that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, share this video. It's very important that you put us out there, and we could be helping somebody. So
see you on the next one.
See you next time.